I was just watching videos on YouTube and came across a excerpt of the Philip Scott podcast, and it was the let's see what was the headline. So, Malik Yoba crashed out after a reporter asked him about his, I guess related to a situation that went on back in the day at the Breakfast Club, where he had made some comments in relation to, I guess they say, trans women or men who don't feel comfortable being men or relate more to being women. And there was a whole lot of talk around that era, a whole lot of jokes being made at Mr. Yoba's expense, uh, maybe a little public shaming. Uh, he had a bad time during that period. I don't know whether it affected any potential roles he might have had, but it was a bad time for Mr. Yoba. Mr. Yoba it fell back, So this is a recent interview he had, and Phil believes that he crashed out, but I look at it in a different perspective. And after I play it out, and I'll play him too, and I'll tell you why.
Of the show back in the day called New York Undercover, and Malik Yoba, he had went to the Breakfast Club and he was talking about trans women. And when he talked about trans women, people like, huh? You're talking about stepping up and all kinds of things about trans women. I'm like, okay, like, it just came out of left field. Well, he had his brother that was going to do an interview with him, and I guess prior, they had a conversation about it. I want you to see how Malik Yoba crashed out when this interviewer started asking certain questions. Let's go ahead and check that out.
What do you say to trans Black women who see that you're centering yourself and that you're being opportunistic and focusing on your attraction as opposed to their issues, and without proving that you're ready to do the work? So what would you say to that?
So you and I sat for 4 hours the other day, correct? And we decided how we were going to approach this.
We decided how we were going to approach this, bro. We went through a number of questions.
We decided how we were going to approach this.
And we said recording, and the more you talk, the better, the worse it looks for you. So what I'm asking is that we're having a conversation. I said the more that we're talking, the more I'm just concerned. So I'm generally concerned. I said that the more that it looks bad for you. That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir.
This looks bad for you.
Yes, because I'm asking another question.
We're done, bro.
Okay.
We're done. Back. And what I've done, it looks bad for me. It's a set. I don't like this. Okay. We said that we were going to focus on policy.
And we did, and we also said, and we also said, and no, we had a conversation about the right thing.
I don't, which not we discussed before. I was using the allegation. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? We sat for 4 hours. We sat for 4 hours. And you gonna stand for allegations? What is wrong with you? This is my fucking.
This is my fucking life. Like Kale said. Like Kanye said, this is my fucking life.
That's tough, man.
We have
What is wrong with you, man? We go 4 hours. All right. Don't tell me about this. Is professional. This is life.
Hey, brother, you got real.
Okay, hold on. All right, so this man said he had said with the guy like 4 hours beforehand. I guess they talked about what the scope of the interview is going to be. Maybe he's just getting to know the guy or whatever. It may have been like this might be an interview that Malik valued, that was very important for him to have. And, the guy asked the question. He said, "Well, what do you think about what women say? They say you want to have the pleasure, but you ain't done the work and all this." So that's a gotcha question. The man didn't expect that type. He said, when we talk, we expect to have this type of discussion. What you've done here is put a gotcha question out here, and it's not going to do anything to benefit me in regards to, this interview, which I figured it was supposed to be like a cordial interview. I'm Malik Yoba, I've been in New York Undercover and Tyler Perry movies and other assorted roles and things like that. So, I sat down, I took my lashes, and now I'm back in trying to get back in the game. You already trying to throw me back into cancel culture. But this is Phil's response, and that's just the way I look at it. This man is an actor. When he say this is my life, and you up here playing, trying to get some clicks and views at my expense, why would you not expect that man to respond in that way in reference to his whole entire career? He probably put his whole entire career on hold for a significant. I ain't heard from Malik Yoba in some time now.
Emotional there. Like if y'all had a conversation about.
And that's that trigger shit, man. I understand, because sometimes these niggas do get legitimately emotional times when you have to use logic and reasoning. But oftentimes other niggas use that to trigger niggas, man. I know this because I effectively can do it. But you talking about that man's career. I don't care what his lifestyle is. I'm not here to even get into that part. He already said affectionate things in regards to he had an attraction to him. Well, to that particular group of people. Why is it that you trying to play this game? Well, what do you think about the women who said, where them women at? Bring them women out. My nigga, I was talking to you. I wasn't, where did you get this question from? It's blindsiding me. Well, the more you talk, the worse it gets. The more I talk, the worse it gets. When was it bad? How is it bad in the first place? And this is what Phil doesn't necessarily see, because Phil seems to be looking at the reaction and not the underlying reason why. I guess he says the reason why he's trying to hide something is beyond hiding anything. It's already suspected. And I'm sure there'll be some who could come out and corroborate that Malik Yoba has, participated in activities with men who identified as women and presented themselves as women and effectively convinced Mr. Yoba in his mind that's the type of woman he wanted. But here's Phil's response.
How you going to ask a question? You can easily just say, I'm not going into that. We already had a discussion about why I'm not going into that. Next question, please. That's all you had to say. You made yourself look bad, brother, crashing out like that. It makes more people wonder, like, bro, you battling something in the inside? Are you really attracted to trans women? And if you are, hey, that's your life. Do you. I have nothing to do with it.
If it's at that point, where you still got to question whether it is or isn't, man, even let it go at this point. Ain't nobody been thinking really beyond the next week or so after it happened. What nobody thinking about what Malik Yoba was dealing with in regards to his attractions and lust and love or whatever. They trying to play, well, he just liked to chase him for the thrill of it. But I don't never really see him in any big pictures with him, like doing all these years of being popular. Never really seen him next to any women. In that way, that was just my girlfriend, my long-term lover. Man, let them people live their life, like you say right there. Are you trying to hide something? I don't care what a nigga do. As long as it don't affect me. If that's what he feel he got to do, he got to keep his feet in the closet. He can keep his feet in the closet. Sometimes he might poke out, but all you got to do is look away. My point of having this discussion here is that, man, dude got caught in the cross and he responded, in a way someone who probably got their lifelong work and they probably might be financially struggling. Once upon a time, they was eating steak and now they're eating motherfucking what they call that, cube steak, well, Salisbury steak. They was eating T-bone steak, now they on Salisbury steak. But this is kind of, black man. I thought, what's going on, black man? Black man always putting other black man down. Ain't that what they say, man? But I'm a nigga. I don't know nothing about all that. But at the end of the day, man,
I ain't your God and I ain't your judge. But
exactly.
You crashing out and talking 4 hours on the phone. I don't need to talk 4 hours on the phone with nobody about no interview. Why do I need to do that? Why I need that much prep? Clearly you was afraid of that question.
Will, respectfully, and some people get disrespectful when they say after respectfully. Will, you are very, very, you're a stalwart. You are a long-term veteran, revered, and your development, I watched along the years, you've come a long, long way, sir. You have an empire at this point. it could be revered as an empire. But even with that, you don't have the notoriety of a Malik Yoba. So you might say, why would I need to sit with somebody for 4 hours before I do an interview for? There may be certain things that may need to be adjusted and addressed for someone who has a type of global, well, if not national, global notoriety as Malik Yoba. But man, grace, mercy, and grace. Only the strong can have compassion for the weak is what I heard. But at the end of the day, man, mind your individual nigga business, first of all. And secondly, I guess my guy that he was interviewing with he might have been a member of the LGBT group, LGBTQ group. And even if that's who you are, what you do, you don't have to be messy. Just like the bras and the bitches but not necessarily the hoes be straightforward with it. You ain't got to be messy, nigga. With that being said, 2 palms up. Peace and love, nigga nation or nothing. I'll holler at y'all next go around.